Atletico Madrid played this season. He's jumped out of the television for me. He's fantastic.
Wisniewski with the hard hit. Down goes Dybala. Felipe Luis pleading his innocence to no avail.
This is to be expected in the Brazil-Argentina match. We've seen Tagliafico take about 3 or 4 chops at Gabi Jesus. Neymar has gone down. Now Felipe Luis giving it to Dybala there. It's to be expected in the Brazil-Argentina. They didn't have that kind of animosity toward each other, and those little cheap shots, those little physical moments, it just wouldn't be the same. But it's hard for Argentina right now to generate anything up the middle. I know people will say that's where Messi could do his damage, but going out wide with Dybala and Correa might be the best maneuvers.
Off of the 18, charging in, Lo Celso might have brought it down with his arm, but also trying to draw contact. Felix Brich lets them play.
That came from a movement out wide. That's where Correa and Dybala, they're playing out wide. So that's where the strength is for Argentina in this attack, is out wide. Natalia and Paredes, more of just midfielders that can link up the attack, link the midfield or the defense with the attack. Chelsea will have that liberty to go forward more than Paredes and Batalla, but the strength of this Argentine attack is out wide with Dybala and Correa.
Chance here on the break, but it's just deflected. A lot of pressure, a lot of eyes on Nico Otamendi to see if he still has it. As you pointed out, maybe not that fleet of foot, but his brain obviously in hyperdrive.
Yeah, he's going to have to be very busy with that movement of Firmino. Of course, he has Batalla and Paredes kind of helping him out in front of him in the midfield.
Into the area, no chance for Coutinho.
You see Neymar trying to pick out that long pass from Arthur to making the deep run through the middle, and that was open because Firmino had floated out wide. When Neymar drops that far back, especially down the left side, Firmino smart enough to recognize that there's space out wide on the left, and that opened up that middle for Arthur. So, and that's the value of Firmino right there. It's not something you could see in the stats, but when you watch the game and you see the spacing, the movement, you can see why he's critical.
Nice layout wide for Danilo, but now what? He retreats. They call the stadium the Shining Jewel, and as you can see, holding up very well. A bit longer than some of the traditional stadiums, about 120 yards long, a little narrower as well, only about 72 yards wide. Maybe a bit more encouragement to be direct towards goal. Then again, knowing what Brazil could probably do in a phone box, I don't think they need much space.
Yeah, I think that's actually part of the training for Brazilians.
Well, we've seen what they can do in an airport.
Oh yeah. One of the best commercials ever. Keeping the ball off the ground through the airport. Argentine's not too bad either. They could control the ball in a phone box as well.
Maybe just not with the bossa nova.
Yeah, with the tango probably like that.
Final 8 minutes of this opening half. Regulation winding to a close. Coutinho goes wide, uses Felipe Luis. Argentina building a barrier, and the pass off target looked like Firmino maybe just taking his eye off. Actually, it was Coutinho who saw the ball whistle past. Now Dybala. A gift. Looking for Tagliafico instead. It's right to Jesus. Now to Neymar. Tries to slot it across. Second effort parried away Otamendi.
Oh, Neymar. He's got to give it to Firmino sooner.
Drives it himself, but this one errant. And a goal kick.
Oh, it's a great interception of the pass there by Gabi Jesus, and he gets it out wide to Neymar. Firmino is coming into the box. If he lays it for Firmino, Firmino can one-time the shot. He had some space, even take an extra touch. maneuver around an Argentine defender and then have an even better chance at goal. But Neymar held the ball a little bit too long there. If he just one times it, he gets that touch and just leaves it for Firmino, who's coming in unmarked, it could have been Brazil 1-0 against Argentina. I mean, don't want to question Neymar's decision-making because of his individual brilliance, but that was one time where he just took too many touches there. Got to lay it off of Firmino in that situation. 6
shots so far. Possession in favor of Brazil, about 60-40 right now. 8-6 in fouls, Argentina. And while there will be a large number of changes before this is over, maybe a few when the second half gets underway, I have a feeling we'll see even more offensive in the second half. Coutinho dodging the challenge, unable to thread that ball through as he would have liked. Here's Lo Celso.
They were trying to get it through the middle there because they know Gabi Jesus or Firmino, they have that ability to just, with their pace, to get in behind that Argentine defense, especially if you're talking about Petzela and Otamendi pretty quickly. But Italian Paredes right there in front of them to offer more bodies to filter that ball through. So it's a smart tactical decision there by Scaloni to put Paredes and Bataglia in front of Petzela and Otamendi. It's making it harder for for Brazil to build through the middle and break them down that way.
Either way, Neymar flips it to the center, rides the challenge, almost surfs his way into the box. Now Casemiro, but the strong challenge, Lo Celso out for the throw-in.
Yeah, that's what Neymar can do. You see everybody in the crowd rising to their feet because of the brilliance there of Neymar, but at that last second, dispossessed there. Otamendi doing a great job in this match. He's played very well.
Little miss. Wide for Danilo. Now plying his trade at Manchester City. Arthur. Quiet match for the Barcelona mid.
Yeah, definitely. Him and Felipe Coutinho not that involved. You're not seeing them help out in the attack as much. You want Neymar to get his touches, but you also want Arthur and Felipe Coutinho to get involved as well. These two, Coutinho and Arthur at Barcelona. I mean, Arthur was the man to help Gremio win the Copa Libertadores last season. And certainly raised his profile in world football, and he's a talented player, but got to get him more involved. He's got to be a little more adventurous going forward, a little more aggressive going forward, him and Coutinho. Casemiro is an excellent player in the back there defensively, so you can take risks going forward, put more men in attack because you have Casemiro back there to back him up.
Again, back to Alisson, who was almost stripped by Correa. This time Icardi could not get close enough. This is a rivalry that dates all the way back pre-FIFA, 1914. Woo. The very first meeting between these two. Argentina ended up winning it in Buenos Aires 3-0. Brazil, I guess, a bit of a late bloomer.
Yeah.
But they've more than made up for lost time.
Sure have.
And in fact, in the total official meetings between these two, they actually have the edge now, 40-38 when it comes to wins, with 26 level. It's the 105th official meeting between the two.
I think that 2-game edge for, is it Brazil to have the 2-game that had to come from the qualifiers for Russia 2018, which Brazil, especially after Tite took over, just dominant. It's one of the most impressive World Cup qualifying campaigns you will ever see, especially CONMEBOL.
Again, the thing to consider is after those opening 3 or 4 matches, both of these teams were in total disarray.
Yeah.
And Argentina kept scrambling for answers. Brazil picked this man.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy to pry him away from Corinthians, but they managed to do it, and Corinthians obviously understood that, and ever since then, it was just rising football for Brazil.
Sela for Otamendi. Penultimate minute of this opening half.
Someone just tweet Dybala better than Neymar. I don't know about that.
Don't talk to him about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he said don't. He said if you disagree, we'll leave that one alone.
Don't at me.
Don't at me. Yes.
90 seconds back as the two teams looked all the world to be comfortable heading in at level terms at the break. Now, you'd figure Tite, more than Scaloni, might be tempted to leave some of his stars out a bit longer. He's actually going to be the man that has lessons to learn. As the interim boss, Scaloni may be a little more considerate towards not overextending some of these players and spreading the joy around. We'll have to wait and see. Both of them with lots of talent on the bench. Here comes Neymar looking for a goal just before the break. Poked free. Sliding in Italia. Chipping it in Coutinho. Now it's Petzela doing his best. Otamendi. Again, looking at the bench, you have the likes of Gio Simeone.
This has been a rough go for the great Canadian Tanner Byrne. Now to Keyshawn Whitehorse from McCracken Springs, Utah, the young up-and-coming American making his Canadian debut here in Quebec City, the Rookie of the Year on the Elite PBR Tour 1 year ago, and a proud member of the Navajo Indigenous people. Whitehorse is on rehab from Triple R Bulls. This is another good one.
This is a really good bull. This is the one in this round that I think most of the guys wish their name was beside. He should just step out and turn back either way and be pretty good to ride.
Oh, an odd start. The bull down in a squat, but Whitehorse still good to go. Now it gets rough. And he'll get to the 8-second whistle. Keyshawn Whitehorse is 2 for 2 in Canada.
As I said, his body turned away.
Right.
And the arm extended to get out of the way. It's not his fault that the ball ricochets in, but, well, makes for an interesting close. The placement maybe leaves a bit to be desired for Brazil. 25 yards out on an angle from dead center. And it's been a quiet half to this point for Sergio Romero, but it's getting noisier by the second.
Petzela, definitely not a handball. Sarabia, I wouldn't have called a handball either, but
Neymar. Romero leaning to his back post. Neymar curls it into the wall, headed down, cleared away. Whistle in hand from Felix Brick. It's still not sending them to the half. So a bit of a gift that Neymar could not unwrap.
this is going to be very interesting to see what happens in terms of the changes, not only to personnel, but to the tactics that both Lionel Scaloni and Chichi will make in the second half. I think Coutinho and Arthur, they have to be more aggressive going forward. Create some opportunities, use their individual skill to break down the midfield of Argentina and try to get something going through the middle.
And that will be the case. To the dressing rooms they go. Will it be Simeone or Lautaro Martinez for Argentina? Malcolm and Richarlison, along with the resurgent Lucas Moura, available for Brazil. Still plenty of firepower, but nothing catching flame just yet. Brazil and Argentina, two longtime rivals. But to this point, neither able to get the edge over the other. But there's still 45 minutes more to go. And you know what? Maybe then some, because there does need to be a winner in this friendly tournament. So penalties could await. But again, you look at the sides on the bench coming in. I'm not sure it's going to get to that point. Obviously, the travel is up there, making the trek to Saudi Arabia, especially for those that have made the trip from South America, but ending it in 90 minutes and also maybe sticking the dagger in regulation. Bill Shane, George DiMatteis mentioned some of those available. Lautaro Martinez and Gio Simeone, the point of the spear. But there are others. Franco Vasquez, who, I guess for lack of a better word, is Argentine again.
Yeah.
After a brief foray with Italy. Eduardo Salvio also available. He can play pretty much anywhere on that right. You have Freds, the Manchester United midfielder, and Malcolm, the Barcelona winger, both of whom are looking to prove their worth, and promising young midfielder Wallace from Hanover. So plenty still to come as the second half about ready to get underway. Felix Brich checking his watch. Mauro Icardi checking Brich. And we are underway to start this second half. Does not appear as though either side made any changes. Alisson in goal. The Liverpool ex-Roma goalkeeper, fronted by Danilo, Marquinhos, Miranda, and Felipe Luis. Casemiro, Arthur, and Coutinho in the midfield. Jesus, Neymar, and Firmino up front. Jose Hernandez, Pablo Marinho on our Spanish language side. Just dancing in time, Danilo. Bill Shane, George DiMatteis with you. Chance here, fighting through the challenge. Gabi Jesus double teamed and tries to force it through Tagliafico.
Derek should be super excited with this bull too. This is a bull that should just go out there, should have really, really good timing. And by timing, we talk about he's going to kick, he's going to set you up on your rope, he's going to let you have the time to make moves.
Tagliafico, the back line. Natalia, Paredes, and Lo Celso, the midfield. Dybala, Icardi, and Correa up front. Only caution to Zenit's Leandro Paredes in the first half. George, of the two sides, the fact that neither making a switch, does that surprise you on the nice touch from Lo Celso?
No, it doesn't surprise me at all. I think you have to let these squads and these talented players get about 10-15 more minutes to figure out what they want to do here. I'm sure Chichi and Lionel Scaloni have said, all right, we want you to make these changes. We want these tactical tweaks as well. So you have to give it time to play out in the second half. So I'm not surprised that there aren't any changes at halftime.
Well, it looks like that's about to change on the sideline. Sarabia getting set to get this back in play. Chipped across, smashed down with the trailing run. Lo Celso, good cross by Correa when Lo Celso could not get all of it.
Yeah. This is Correa winning the ball. They can get around Miranda, get around Casemiro, and Icardi because of his run.
Neymar. Sarabia got there first, and Neymar clatters in. Bit of a message sent. Been a good match for Sarabia. Mentioned have to only go back to last month against Guatemala for his only other appearance for Argentina. And that right back position is pretty much up for grabs. Gabriel Mercado has had it, but at 31 years of age, the Sevilla defender, who, by the way, scored the only goal back in June last season between these two down in Melbourne. But Mercado, kind of a stopgap. Ball across, headed up and over. Danilo back on defense.
Mercado better served as a center back than a right back.
And really mentioned earlier on the bench right now for Argentina is Edu Salvio, who was actually
ball across, headed up and over,
pulled in as a right wing
back
defense when they tried 3 in the back at one time. So
Mercado better served as a
Benfica winger having to do some defensive work, which he did well, but not naturally. Splitting Alisson against Casemiro. Long ball forward for Gabriel Jesus. No chance for Firmino.
So Marcos Rojo, I figure, might be in the mix in terms of the defenders, especially on wide on the right. I know that might not be his natural position on wide on the right, but we've seen him play out there before.
Mauricio Bustos is here today as the potential backup. Of course, the former Dallas resident Ramiro Funes Mori now plying his trade at Villarreal after some time at Everton. Could step into the back line along with the youngster and yet to debut Juan Foyth, the 20-year-old now with Spurs. So not just in the attack, another in the midfield is Santi Escasivar, the 21-year-old for Stuttgart, who many are calling the next Mascherano.
He can play and have the career Mascherano had. That midfield is locked down solid for a good 10-12 years.
Tangle in the midfield. Lo Celso seems to be in some pain. See that little divot. Meanwhile, Tagliafico rubbing some feeling back under the shin pad.
Tagliafico. Ooh, yeah, that's a tough clash there. Marquinhos and his teammate.
Take another look. And here Gabriel Jesus and Tagliafico very similar on the 2 challenges.
Well, that's got to be Jesus maybe getting a little bit of revenge on Tagliafico, because in the first half, Tagliafico was physical with him, chopped him up a couple of times.
Ball forward, cutting back, lifting it to the near post. Icardi trying to make something from nothing. He says it was deflected, and it looks like Argentina will get the corner.
Quick restart there by Argentina, and this is why Icardi can be so effective. You get him the service in the area, and he can either score a goal or at least win you a corner, and he did that there.
Player down inside the...
Still a real live bucking bull, and there's no traps to be set for bulls like this. But if this bull does what he's been doing, this bull should really suit Zane, and look for him to get rode right here.
Zane Lambert from Ponoka, Alberta on All Access, and this is a fight, a pitched battle in Quebec City. Oh, did he get there? They're saying 786.
Oh, and you watch this right here. Zane, this bull is just turning back, and Zane's doing everything proper. And at about, well, 786 on the watch, where they're stopping it, his hand pops out of the rope. And if we watch it real close here, he's just riding this bull around. And somewhere through this ride, right here, Zane's just going. And right here, they're starting to get a little pressure on his hand.
Watch the clock. Watch his hand on the rope.
And right here, his hand's coming out of the rope, hand in the tail for as long as he can hold it, but just short.
Oh, my goodness. Zane Lambert bucked off for the first time tonight, but so close. 7.86 seconds to Brennan Eldred from Sulphur, Oklahoma. 84-5 and 86 in his first 2 rounds. He's gone double major. Whitehogs and Corey Smilnick bull. This is another tough task.
And you said it exactly. This is a bull in this round of 4 that is a little bit more undesirable. Doesn't matter what they run under you, you still need to ride him. But this bull is not easy. He's going to have a lot of up and down and a lot of forward motion. Once he gets to turning back, he does level out, but getting to that turn back is hard.
The Don from Eldred on double major. This is another tough task. Still holding on. Now he's
you said it exactly. This is a bull in this round of 4 that is a little bit more undesirable. Doesn't matter what they run under you, you still need to ride him. And just like with Zane Lambert, this bull actually has a really good day to ride for him. Kind of once he gets to turn it back, this bull just sets up and turns back, and he's getting around there, he's moving hard, he's kicking loose and trying to find that position. But if you watch right here again, once again, his hand pulls out of the rope in this holds on to the tail as long as he can.
This is the third consecutive chase out here, who's out of the competition to the world number 2. Just sticking around to help encourage his colleague. It says we got a Derek Obama, 2-round leader. Pair of 86s for a 172 bag right on down. And he's got his hands flat. This is big city night for the Bull Rodeo.
Once again, this bull is going to be a little similar to the field that we just seen in Brendan Elvis. This bull is going to have a lot of up and down, but if Derek can do everything right, this bull actually his
colleague says we got a Derek Obama, 2-round leader. Pair of 86s for a 172 bag.
You can see in the shoot here, this bull's got his hands flat.
This is big city night for the Bull Rodeo.
This bull's going to be a little similar to the field that we just seen.
Obama, the man to beat. This regained the title in 2017. Big city nights.
De fora do Mineirão. E aí a expectativa do Marquinhos. Vamos ouvir um pouquinho mais, vamos tentar ouvir os jogadores. E aí a bola no jogo. Bola no jogo. Bandeiras entrando em campo. Jogo de mata-mata, jogo semifinal, duelo Brasil e Argentina. Sempre um momento especialíssimo para esses dois países, para essas duas torcidas. Para esses países que produzem jogadores fantásticos, jogadores extraordinários, de técnica rara, de técnica apurada. E essa é a bola do jogo. E aí a bola do jogo. Bola do jogo. A expectativa é imensa aqui no Mineirão. Estamos juntos, estamos no Sport TV. No gramado Guilherme Pereira. Jogo de mata-mata, jogo semifinal, duelo Brasil e Argentina. Sempre um momento especialíssimo para esses dois países. E eu tenho certeza a torcida apoiada. Olha aí a festa argentina. Jogo semifinal, duelo Brasil e Argentina. Sempre um momento especialíssimo para esses dois países. E eu tenho certeza a torcida apoiada. Olha aí a festa argentina. Seleções vão se festejando no gramado. O torcedor brasileiro está feliz na vida. O encontro do Brasil com o Mineirão. Olha aí a festa argentina. A Argentina jogando de novo aqui. O torcedor brasileiro está feliz. O brasileiro Daniel Alves com o Mineirão. Já foi campeão da Copa. A Argentina jogando de novo aqui. O torcedor está contente, está feliz, está empolgado. Os hinos nacionais do Brasil e da Argentina. A Argentina jogando de novo aqui. O torcedor está contente, está feliz, está empolgado. Os hinos nacionais do Brasil e da Argentina. A Argentina jogando de novo aqui. O torcedor está contente, está feliz, está empolgado. Os hinos nacionais do Brasil e da Argentina. A Argentina jogando de novo aqui. O torcedor está contente, está feliz, está empolgado. somos todos. Boa sorte, gente. E vamos que vamos, Tite. Os técnicos se cumprimentando. Torcida gritando Brasil. E promessa de um jogaço para você. Vamos às escalações de Brasil e Argentina. Sempre que não se lembra do Flamengo, Brasil. Promessa de um jogaço para você. Deixando Marquinhos e Alexandre. Felipe Coutinho. Carlos Furso. Firmino. Promessa de um jogaço. Marquinhos e Alexandre. Brasil aqui no Mineirão. Técnico é Tite. Furso. Firmino. Promessa de um jogaço. Brasil, os dois bichados do gol. Vai Tite. E o final de uma carreira. O time do Brasil faz a sua última corrente. O da Argentina se reúne também. De início do jogo, vocês devem faz a sua última corrente. Já que, cara, o da Argentina que o Brasil vai tentar ter o controle da partida através do centro de meio campo. Colocar o seu meio campo para jogar dentro do campo de defesa da Argentina. Aí criar um campo. Imagina separar o meio campo da frente de meio campo. Os três homens no meio campo, aquela divisão no campo de defesa da Argentina. Aí criar um campo. Imagina separar o Brasil conseguir isso vai ser legal. Luiz Cristian temos pouquíssimos jogadores. Jesus aí você temos Chiquinho, diz que não dormiu a noite. Lionel Scaloni é o jovem técnico da Argentina com 41 anos. Aí você temos Chiquinho, diz que não dormiu a noite. Lionel Scaloni é o jovem técnico da Argentina com 41 anos. Aí você temos Chiquinho, diz que não dormiu a noite. 3, 2, Lionel Scaloni da Argentina. Lançamento na frente, a tentativa era para o Firmino, de novo Marquinhos. Casemiro de cabeça, lançamento na frente, a tentativa era para o Firmino, de novo Marquinhos. A definição de cabeça, lançamento na frente, a tentativa para o Firmino. Firmino, de novo Marquinhos. A definição de cabeça, lançamento na frente, a tentativa para o Firmino. Firmino, de novo Marquinhos. A definição de cabeça, você viu ali o Agüero, viu? O Agüero está vendo o Firmino. De novo, bola direita da história do City com o Agüero. Você viu o Agüero, o Casemiro. Casemiro se corta. Firmino fica com o Agüero. Bola direita da história do City com o Martínez. Você viu o Agüero, o Casemiro. Casemiro se corta. Firmino fica com o Agüero. Bola Argentina. De novo, também, tentando aqui para a esquerda. jogou a bola na Rússia, volta com as mãos. De novo, talvez o papel aqui para o Seca. De novo, jogou a bola na Rússia, volta com as mãos. Entregou os mãos agora na Rússia. De novo, talvez o papel aqui para o Seca. De novo, jogou a bola na Rússia, volta com as mãos. Entregou os mãos agora na Rússia. De novo, primeiramente, dois minutos. Daí a Rússia passou. Bola brasileira mais uma vez. 0-0 Argentina. Alexandre. Everton disparou, pediu na esquerda. Foi o Everton do ponta. Bola brasileira mais uma vez. Situação mais 0-0 Argentina. Às vezes se dá no nosso aquecimento de 2 horas. Pediu na esquerda. Foi o zagueiro. Bola usada mais lateral. Está muito bom para o Everton ser Argentina. Às vezes se dá no nosso aquecimento de 2 horas. Pediu na esquerda. Foi o zagueiro. Vai usar mais lateral. Está muito bom para o Everton ser Argentina. Às vezes se dá no nosso aquecimento de 2 horas. Pediu na esquerda. E aí a Brasil toca de lateral. Puxa, empurra. Alexandre perde o cruzamento na primeira trave. Tirou Lautaro. Daí Alves. Abriu com o Everton na esquerda. Faz cruzamento na primeira trave. Tirou Lautaro. Daí voltando ao jogador do Grêmio. Abriu com o Everton na esquerda. Faz por 4 minutos. Depois de um início ruim na Copa América, a Argentina do Lautaro perdeu para a Colômbia. Em uma esquerda, foi por 4 minutos. A Argentina chegou às quartas. Depois de um início ruim na Copa América, a Argentina do Lautaro perdeu para a Colômbia. Problemas vencendo elas foi o jogo fez. A Argentina chegou às quartas. Depois de um início ruim na Copa América, a Argentina do Lautaro perdeu o jogo fez. A Argentina chegou às quartas. Depois de um início ruim na Copa América, a Argentina do Lautaro Daniel pegou no Lautaro, a Cunha dividiu o Lautaro. Não chegou no Messi. Firmino, Daniel pegou no Lautaro, a Cunha dividiu o Lautaro. Não chegou no Messi. Firmino, Daniel pegou no Lautaro, a Cunha dividiu o Lautaro. Não chegou no Messi. Firmino, Daniel pegou no Lautaro, a Cunha dividiu. Canta a torcida brasileira, tenta empurrar o time do Tite. Não chegou no Messi. Firmino, Daniel pegou no Lautaro. Canta a torcida brasileira, tenta empurrar o time do Tite. Gabriel Jesus. Falta do Daniel. Canta a torcida brasileira, tenta empurrar o time do Tite. Gabriel Jesus. Falta do Gabriel. Fica de olho aí, hein?
Reclamando de entrada do Leandro Paredes.
Gabriel Jesus. Falta do Gabriel. Daniel Alves. Por enquanto, o Brasil toma iniciativa, o lançamento para ninguém. Somos todos campeões. Daniel Alves. Por enquanto, o
Sportbet.tv, seu lanche, sua chance, faz um Sportbet aí.
Somos campeões. Daniel Alves. Por enquanto,
Sportbet.tv, seu lanche, sua chance, faz um Sportbet aí.
somos campeões. Daniel Alves.
Sportbet.tv, seu lanche, sua chance, faz um Sportbet aí.
CBF já foi punida por gritos homofóbicos. Já houve essa punição. CBF já foi punida por gritos segunda vez. Já tentou essa punição. CBF já foi punida. Você ligava nas emoções da Copa América. Já tentou essa punição. Otamendi. Reserva do time do Otamendi. Você ligava nas emoções da Copa América. Nos quase 7 minutos. No momento, Messi pouco na bola. Daniel Alves. Reserva do Cunha. Você ligava nas emoções da Copa América. Nos quase 7 minutos. No momento, Messi pouco na bola. Daniel Alves. Reserva do Cunha. Você ligava nas emoções da Copa América. Nos quase 7 minutos. No momento, Messi pouco na bola. Forte. Lançando o jogo. Reserva do Cunha. Você ligava nas emoções da Copa América. torcidas abertas do Luiz.
Luiz, tem uma história curiosa, que ele jogava no Boca Juniors como camisa 10, ele é meio campista. Até foi considerado esse símbolo que ele jogava no Boca Juniors como camisa 10, ele é meio campista. Até foi considerado esse símbolo que ele jogava no Boca Juniors como camisa 10, ele é meio campista. São companheiros de massa. Considerado esse símbolo que ele jogava no Boca Juniors como Nicolás Lagartico, jogador do Ajax Amsterdã, na seleção de Neres. Nicolás Lagartico, jogador do Ajax Amsterdã, achei que a falta anterior do Corinthians foi até mais pesada do que essa. Nicolás Lagartico, jogador do Ajax Amsterdã, achei que a falta anterior do Corinthians demais. Estamos juntos na Copa América. Luiz, algo que a gente não via, que não era normal do Messi conversar com o Neymar, tirar os jogadores, tirou os jogadores do grande geração, e ele faz algo que a gente não via, que não era normal do Messi conversar com o Neymar, tirar os jogadores, tirou os jogadores da grande geração, e ele faz algo que a gente não via, que não era normal do Messi conversar com o Neymar, muito bom jogador, você tem pensamento de bola baixa, a Argentina tinha que bola baixa. Só que o brasileiro não joga a Argentina do apoio Messi. Tá difícil o Messi segura a frente. Marquinhos Caviar, todo mundo Alisson. Só que o brasileiro não joga a Argentina do apoio Messi. Tá difícil o Messi segura a frente. Alexandre Marquinhos Caviar, Alisson. Só que o brasileiro não joga a Argentina do apoio Messi. Tá difícil o Messi segura a frente. Alexandre Marquinhos Caviar, Alisson. Thiago Silva, só que o brasileiro não joga a Argentina do apoio Messi. O jogo está jogando a seleção brasileira contra a Daniel Alves. Thiago Silva, não foi para a seleção de hoje, o jogo da gente está jogando a seleção brasileira contra a Daniel Alves. Título das transmissões brasileiras do esporte. Thiago Silva, não foi para a seleção de hoje, o jogo da gente está jogando a seleção brasileira contra a Daniel Alves. Título das transmissões brasileiras do esporte. Thiago Silva, não foi para a seleção de hoje, a Argentina se enfrenta numa semifinal na história da Copa América. Nos dois últimos confrontos entre Brasil e Argentina, os artistas da Argentina se enfrentaram na Copa de 2007, o Brasil foi título em 2004. Nos dois últimos confrontos entre Brasil e Argentina, nos pênaltis em 2007, os artistas da Argentina se enfrentaram na Copa de 2007, o Brasil foi título em 2004. Nos dois últimos confrontos entre Brasil e Argentina, nos pênaltis em 2007, os artistas da Argentina se enfrentaram na Copa de 2007, o Brasil foi título em 2004. Pediu para lançar de novo. Nos pênaltis em 2007, os artistas da Argentina se enfrentaram na Copa de 2007. Primeiros 12 minutos aqui, Zorte. Peders, trabalhando totalmente. Primeiros 18 especiais do TV, comentários e municipais. 12 minutos aqui, Maurício Zorte. Peders, trabalhando totalmente. Primeiros 18 especiais do TV, comentários e municipais. 12 minutos aqui, Maurício Zorte. Peders. Olha Pico, de novo Messi. Saiu mesmo, escrevendo a Argentina passa. Olha pessoal, olha Pico, de novo Messi. Escrevendo a Argentina passa. Tiro de meta para Alisson. Olha pessoal, de muito longe. Olha Pico, de novo Messi. De chute, escrevendo a Argentina. Deu um susto. Olha pessoal, de muito longe. Pessoal, muito forte, marcação forte, quando a bola tem o toque de bola, olha o jogo, deu um susto. Tudo isso não pode vir para a gente. E o posicionamento do Messi é diferente hoje. Ele percebe, ele cai no meio o tempo inteiro. Atrás, e o posicionamento é diferente. O futebol, passando a bola cai um pouquinho mais para trás, do que está acostumado a jogar. Para trás, e o posicionamento sair dessa pressão. O futebol, passando a bola cai um pouquinho mais para trás, do que está acostumado a jogar. Para trás, e o posicionamento sair dessa pressão. O futebol, passando a bola cai um pouquinho mais para trás, do que está acostumado a jogar. Para trás, Everton segundo gol do lance com o Argentina. Marquinhos. Everton segundo gol do lance com o Argentina. De novo Marquinhos. Thiago Silva. A Argentina volta, marca no seu campo, mas fazendo aqui em cima o time lance com o Argentina. Gosta de fazer Marquinhos. Thiago Silva. A Argentina volta, marca no seu campo, mas fazendo aqui em cima o time lance com o Argentina. Gosta de fazer Marquinhos. Ele gosta, hein? Mas a marcação já está Argentina. Esse vai ser o mais fazendo aqui em cima o time lance com o Argentina. Olha o time do jeito que ele gosta, hein? Parece esquecinho. Especial para o defesa Muricy. Há um tempo não vi mais que a gente parece esquecinho.
Esperava o time espaçado, parece muito compacto, muito junto, esperava o time espaçado,
para trazer a Argentina do sete pontos do jogo, para trazer a seleção argentina. Para ter o jogo brasileiro, Daniel Alves. Carlos Jesus, ponto do jogo, para trazer a seleção argentina. Passou pelo Coutinho, salvou o cheiro do Alves. Forte marcação do Jesus, ponto do jogo, para trazer a seleção argentina. Passou pelo Coutinho, salvou o cheiro do Alves. Jesus, forte marcação do Jesus, 0-0, a Argentina vai e dá sequência ao segundo gol. Jesus, forte marcação do Jesus, 0-0, a Argentina e dá sequência ao segundo gol. Ricardinho, Jesus, forte marcação do Jesus, 0-0, a Argentina e dá sequência ao segundo gol. Ricardinho, Daniel Alves, Daniel Alves, Marquinhos, a Argentina voltando o Martins, pega o Martins, jogo decisivo, jogo da Argentina voltando o Martins, aqui no jogador do Brasil lembrou o jogo eu acho que sim, porque ele vai dar uma frente, vai voltar a frente, precisa fazer o jogo de eu acho que o brasileiro precisa de ajuda lá na frente, vai voltar a frente, precisa fazer o jogo de eu acho que o brasileiro precisa de ajuda lá na frente, vai voltar a frente, precisa fazer o jogo de desce, de novo com espaço para o cruzamento, volta para ele atrás, tira o Catarino, começa o Alves, o Catarino, desce, manda para frente, de novo com espaço para o cruzamento, corte para trás do Armani, tira o Catarino, tira o Alves, o Catarino, desce, manda para frente, Coutinho, corte para trás do Armani, tira o Catarino, tira o Alves, o Catarino, Brasil 0, Argentina 3-0. Alexandre, belíssimo início do jogo para você, semifinal número 1. Brasil 0, Argentina 3-0. Maracanã, quem perder joga sábado na Arena Corinthians. Belíssimo início do jogo para você, semifinal Thiago. Brasil 0, Argentina 3-0. Maracanã, quem perder joga sábado na Arena Corinthians. Belíssimo início do jogo para você, semifinal Thiago. No pé no meio, Brasil direita, Gabriel Jesus. Maracanã, quem perder joga sábado na Arena Corinthians. Início do jogo, Thiago, Gabriel Jesus. Direita, Gabriel Jesus. Roberto Firmino, toma triângulo da mídia. Pirino sai da grande área. Lançamento difícil com o Gabriel Jesus. Camisa pesada. Segura forte. Martínez. Toma triângulo da mídia. Pirino sai da grande área. Lançamento difícil com o Gabriel Jesus. Camisa pesada. Segura forte. Martínez. Toma triângulo da mídia. Pirino sai da grande área. Lançamento difícil com o Gabriel Jesus. Daniel Jesus. Segura forte. Martínez. Faz o muro. Triângulo da mídia.